Welcome Trinidad and Tobago. I'm your host alongside my other host,
Hi.
Sarah Nabi.
Good night, everyone.
How's everything, Trinidad and Tobago? Well, we're here and we have some good news tonight, and that will be the topic of discussion. We're actually launching our Pep Farms initiative, and this is super interesting. So definitely, guys, you don't want to go anywhere. Kick back, relax, and certainly take this discussion in because it's definitely one you want to hear.
Yes, and we look excited tonight because we actually, personally have a little bit of joy going towards understanding pet farms and excited how we're coming on board. And but before we get into it, we have a little bit of housekeeping. So let me start. Firstly, we want to extend on behalf of the PEP family Ramadan Mubarak to the Muslim brothers and sisters across Trinidad and Tobago. I know that right now we would all be busy in Tarawih Salah, and may the one God accept our sacrifices and our dua at this time. And I hope you all catch us on your rerun when you all come home. So those of us who's watching right now, please share the video. And in other news, we have other housekeeping with respect to this Saturday, 19th of May 2018. Both the local and international branches of the Progressive Empowerment Party is busy. We have the Belmont Walkabout. Starting at 10 a.m. we meeting at head office, 19 Stanmore Avenue. So if you want to be a part of that, join up and meet us here at 10 a.m. If you would like more information about it, you can contact Shari Wilson or Lima McLeod Wilkinson for more information. That's this Saturday, the Belmont Walkabout from 10 a.m. meet up at Stanmore HQ. For those of us who are not going to participate in the walkabout, you can come in, have our meeting session. We're going to have a special planning meeting this Saturday about pet farms, which is what we're going to be talking about right now, and getting into it. So you can come on down from 10:30 a.m. We are also having the youth arm going to have a working session with respect to planning the youth policy. So UE has closed, we waited, and we wanted to give everyone enough time. So now that we have some time, you all can come down from 10:30, 11 o'clock that is, and we can start our working session, start drafting the youth policy. We want to hear from you. This is your party, the Progressive Empowerment Party, and we want us all to be a part of it, to have our collective voices heard.
Most definitely, yes. And again, Trinidad and Tobago, the PEP, Progressive Empowerment Party, we are calling on all people who have lands and farmers. Definitely, we need you to get in contact with us to be a part of this initiative. And again, this basically coincides with the 21 policies at a glance that we have, which number 8, which is food independence.
Yes.
And as it says here, set food targets based on national consumption data, make farmland available rent-free to small farmers, set crop schedules, purchase, harvest, and distribute produce through the 41 constituencies, wholesale and retail markets. So this is our number 8 on the policies at a glance, and this is just, again, it's a tip of the iceberg, because the initiative in itself is what we're trying to do now really is do a test model to actually see how well this concept can actually work. And we're going to archive and get our information together and do our numbers and whatnot. And definitely, when the PP gets into office, we certainly would be rolling out that on a national scale.
Yes, exactly. Because as we say, once done effectively, these measures will make Trinidad and Tobago food self-sufficient in 5 years, and we can be a robust food exporter in 10. Because we know the world population is expanding exponentially. We can't keep up. And very soon, food independence will be the only independence that matters. And we have been saying this, we published it since February of this year, and we've been talking about it since last year. And now we're getting on board to show proof of concept with pet farms. And you could see the smiles, like we're extremely happy. We're super excited about it.
Cannot wait, because the initiative in itself is going to I mean, it's going to bring great change. And you know what PP stands for? We want the farmer. Let them be the millionaires. Let them be the ones that's well off. Because at the end of the day, the need for food is number one. Period.
Yeah.
That's how we live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So where that's concerned, we can't neglect the farming industry anymore. No, we can't do that. We have to scrutinize the entire system as is presently, as well as now that we're actually going through with a test project, seeing how this can work, getting farmers on board as well as landowners. The PP would be acting as the middleman, as if you want to call it. Well, basically it's a cooperative that we want to set up that would basically be handling the contractual agreements and so on, and we would be basically in charge in ensuring everything goes the way that it's supposed to go within the tenure of time that the contracts are allotted to.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just going to start off with step by step. But if it is that you have a specific question you want to ask us to get some detailed information, you can call us now on our designated call-in line. So 342-8737 or 342-8PEP. 342-8737. That's the number to call if you have any specific questions or comments that you want to get in before you come in on Saturday, or anything that you want to clarify with when you want to share the information. But as Tony, you were saying, we're saying that Pep Farms is a vision without end. That's how we describe it here as the executive, because we know and we understand that farmers are the most important persons in society, because what are we going to do without affordable food?
That's right.
You know how we are. I mean, and look at what we're saying in terms of the highway vendors. They're going to be, pushed aside or whatever that, I mean.
Yeah, that's a whole other story by itself right there.
Because you see people hustling, trying to sell their products. And I mean, we're talking about, they are not just farmers. You have people who, selling drinks, but I mean, the idea behind having a proper place for your products, right, and actually being valued, you understand, as being someone who, and being rewarded for someone who's trying to make an honest dollar.
True.
You know what I mean? Because you're not there taking that sun, taking that rain, you don't have a bathroom facility, you can't wash your hand, you're literally setting yourself and baking in your sun, and you just see them sometimes with their jersey and then the long sleeve below, and then they have their bandana and they try to cover themselves up because they know they're hitting 10-hour, 8-hour, 12-hour days, hitting that weather.
But I like the idea that you had mentioned before too, as far as putting things in place, the transition point from, because it's all well and good talking about you want to move the vendors from on the side of the road, but it's the next thing, you're moving them and doing what?
Exactly. We have no problem with, upholding the law. We all for that. But how about we provide them with facilities where they could sell without being a hindrance, because they have rights too. Citizens have rights. And the thing is that the Progressive Empowerment Party, we are just made up of citizens who just cannot wait till 2020, cannot wait to see if we're going to get into government, before we take some action.
Right.
That's what Pep Farms is about. Pep Farms is about telling people, if you have idle land and you want to earn revenue, the Progressive Empowerment Party, through a cooperative, we will find a way to manage and do site visits and actually work with you and with the farmer. So even though you're a landowner, you don't have to be the farmer, right? So we have the party, we have the farmer, we have the landowner, and we can work out a relationship where it will be a win-win-win situation for everyone involved, right? But we're saying, don't wait till 2020, to
Get
try
involved
and
now.
yeah.
Get involved now.
People just, a lot of people who come here, they feel hopeless. They say they come here and they feel hopeless, and then, they heard about Philip, and then, they see us now, and they feel like they're part of something, and they feel like it's a family, and I think that Pep Farms is just something that, it warms my heart being, in social services and, seeing that's where I am.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about people actually being employable, people being empowered, people actually being productive, that relationship with working with the land, and that's Trinidad and Tobago. If you test our soil, and they say like you spit on anything and it grows.
Best soil, best cocoa, best sugar, best coffee, you name it. we have the best produce being grown right here in Trinidad and Tobago.
And we have a ginormous import bill that makes absolutely no
No
sense.
sense.
You see?
No sense. It don't make sense.
We're trying to rein ourselves in,
Yeah.
you know. But
It's what? Almost 70% of what we consuming is what we're bringing into the country. I mean that's
not for Trinidad and Tobago, not for the kind of soil that we have. That's what we're saying. And I mean, you know, right? All of us come from a history of outhouses. You know, you understand? It's like when you have a latrine in the area, you know how fertile that place has been, right? You know how much plum you could grow, how much avocado you could grow. I mean, I come from a history of a family where we were farmers, and people who, when I came to PEP first, I told them, you know, I want a simple life, you know, because I come from the life of a farmer. You know, agri-science was like my favorite subject. I actually Republic Bank they actually did like a national competition, and like I tied for first. So like that was like in Standard 4. So like I had to split the check, boy. You know, because we tied over,
but at least half is better than that.
Yeah, exactly. But it was like it was your first check, and it was like you earned it, and it was about, because I knew about tomatoes and I knew about fertilizer, and you know what we planted and what we invested in was something, and I was so proud of that, and I think that is what kept me around and kept me connected to farming, and I think that Pep Farms is just a wonderful opportunity to share that and to give people the chance to grow, you know.
Listen, everyone here at PP is super excited about this entire project right now. And again, come down to Stanmore Avenue, 19 Stanmore Avenue, noontime, every Saturday. And again, ask your questions. In fact, call now and ask questions.
342-8737 if you have questions. That's 3428 PEP, right? But if you want to know more about apart from Pep Farm, if you want to know anything more about the party, we always say, come on to Stanmore Avenue and ask questions. So we're not saying people who are not interested in Pep Farms don't come.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's not the message that we're trying to say. The Progressive Farming Party, we really tend to be juggling like about 3 or 4 things at one time. So if you have, even if you don't have questions related to Pep Farms, but just anything in general too, you can call the number 342-8737 and ask your questions or throw your comments, and we'll try to address them.
Yeah, don't be shy, Trinidad. Call who has concerns, who may have a thought in mind, or maybe even a different concept that we could even get a listen to and consider. You know, certainly take the opportunity to make the call. Again, the number is 342-8737. That's 342-8737. Make it happen, Trinidad and Tobago. Call. This initiative is totally awesome, and you should be wanting to know a lot more about it. Again, landowners as well as farmers, small farmers, you're looking for land to toil on and to come up with produce. The landowners, you have land sitting there as a derelict, not doing anything, not generating anything for you. Again, come down or call, and let's touch base with you. Let's walk you through how the concept actually is going to work. And again, everyone will be a winner in this, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
So call in 342-8737. We want to hear from you, Trinidad and Tobago, because again, the initiative, no one is doing this. 50 plus years, 11 administrations passed by, and no one has thought about this to present day, and we are importing almost 70%, if not more, of our consumable products.
Yeah.
It makes no sense, Trinidad and Tobago, no sense whatsoever. And you know, everyone is big people here. We are supposed to know better. What we're saying is that with the think tank that we have, we've fabricated a program, a farming program to help citizens in this nation from every aspect, from the landowner to the farmer. And from that in itself, you have downstream industries that you're also going to be taking consideration on.
And then even to, I wanted to include just from the point of view of the consumer.
Right.
Right? So it would be something simple. We've planned ahead, and we know that once the produce comes in, you know, PEP members, you know, who come in, is like, we're going to set up areas where we're going to sell the produce that we have. So you could get something like special prices if it is that you run pepper sauce, or you're a punch man or something, right? And you want your fresh barbadine and soursop and whatnot, right? You can work with us and tell us, get your orders, and you could get special prices.
Exactly. We do plan to also create green markets or green corners, if you want to call it that, where it can be an access point for you to purchase the said produce. And on top of that, just shooting this out to both the landowners as well as farmers, PP will take the initiative in ensuring that the produce is sold both on the wholesale market as well as the retail market. And in the very near future, once we can get things streamlined, we seriously would be considering to do exports. And again, that's where the gravy on top is going to fall in. So Trinidad and Tobago, you guys want to get involved, you want to know more, you listen, this is an initiative that is definitely going to change the face of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right, and we're talking about short-term crops, we're talking about long-term crops, we're talking about farming techniques and technologies.
That's
we
right.
have people experimenting with hydroponics, we have people dealing with aquaponics. We already have it planned in terms of the soil. If we can handle intercropping happening on plots, right? Because we already, before we launch, and we decided to launch the discussion about pep farms, we had to ensure that we had our committed professional individuals who would be part of the pep farm thing, because we want to do this thing properly. I mean, even though it's volunteer work, and I mean, we know that the Progressive Empowerment Party is a labor of love. It's a labor of love and patriotism. I mean, we don't look it, but we're tired. But we're excited as well.
I look it.
Right, but I mean, we're enthused and I mean, I just thinking about, I just had an idea. Like, Janice and Felicia is like, they're getting their break and stuff.
I know.
They should be back, by next week and thing. But I think that with the number of opportunities that you can have, if you want to have fish, if you want to have cassava, if you want to have pineapple is a 2-year crop. We could try and work out something. You understand? It's like, if you need lettuce, if it is that you run pepper sauce and you need shadow benny and you need seasoning, we could run that too, right? Because we already, I mean, when we were just discussing it, it's like, we had a landowner, they got excited, and it's like, we got 50 plus acres.
Yeah.
You understand? So we already started on working with that.
Our target is 100 acres, by the way.
To start up,
yeah.
and I think in between then to now is like, we might land, come Saturday, we might get 20 more, that's any works. So if it is that you want to have discussion and you in-depth discussion, you can call, Philip himself at 682-2110, or you can call now and we can make arrangements and take your contact from 342-8737. And let us know, or you can shoot us a message, Progressive Empowerment Party, on the Facebook page. Anthony Defoe, Sarah Nabi, just say you're interested about pep farms, and we'll get back to you, right, about it. But I mean, I'm thinking,
not wanting to cut you off, but
what?
It's not only segregated to farming goods such as goods, as in tomatoes, peppers, and so on.
Oh, you mean like vegetables and stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
We also looking at farm animals as well.
Yes, we deal with animal husbandry as well, and we have farmers on board who will actually guide us and let us know how we're going. But it depends on when we do the site visits. And if it is that you're interested in a certain area, you can come with the team and do your site visits for the area that you desire, and work something out. So at every step of the way. Oh, look, we have a call. Hello, good night. You're on Frontline? Hold on, I'm raising the volume. Hi. Hi, you hearing us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Right. I just have a question about the farming.
Uh-huh.
Is there you need to make an initial investment to get into it?
No.
That's really it.
No initial investment is necessary for you to get involved. From which aspect are you looking at, though? From the landowner or from as a farmer?
From the farmer's perspective.
No, the farmer perspective, he is basically to have control of the property in itself, toiling it and farming it and so on. As far as the product, as I believe the seedlings and whatnot, we will be providing that. So as far as development of the land in itself, the PP would give the farmer assistance to basically set everything in order as far as what the crop is and what particulars you would need on that particular acre. So we're looking at possibly distributing per farmer an acre at a time. For example, what is it? Is it kale or something like that?
Yeah,
you can have an annual income with kale up to $500,000, and that's on 1 acre of land. You know what I mean? So there are people who are not even making a fraction of that on a yearly basis, working a regular job. You know what I mean? So the point is that there's tremendous opportunity right now for the citizenry as well, and we're talking about it from the employment standpoint as well as I would say the landowner be an investor of sorts, if you understand my point.
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of a concept in which how it's going to work, but there's a lot more detail, in-depth that we would be going into, because again, every parcel of land or acreage would be or having different dynamics towards it, because you can have lands that's located on hills, versus ones that's on low-lying land areas, as well as ones that's in swampy type areas. Again, it's all different produce and stuff that we will be looking at. So the models in itself would basically carry the same blueprint, but slight variations and particulars towards the actual crop and location as well.
Okay, cool. Well, that's already planned, man.
All right, man. So I hope to see you guys come down Stanmore Avenue, 12 noon. Saturdays, you know what I mean? And definitely ask more questions, get more involved, and get the information which is necessary for you to make better decisions. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool. All right, man.
All right, bro. Take it easy.
Very nice. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, Trinidad. Call 342-8737. That's 342-8737. Give us a call. Let us know what's going on. Let's hear what's on your mind. You know what I mean? Yeah?
All right, sorry.
That's all right. Try to cut me off there.
Yeah. I tried to cut you off with
I'm
you.
kidding. With me. Yeah, but again,
we have a question here. So, is the farmer responsible for his own security?
good question. We are looking into that as far as the direct particulars where that is concerned. We are trying to create a model that can address that in itself. Well, lastly, as you know, that is where farmers would be taking a major hit, and that's a major problem that farmers are dealing with in the country, period, for many, many years. So certainly it's something that we are going to be looking into to secure and lock down, because obviously we're not going to be going into farming, you know, to have loss. You know what I mean? We're not going in. This is a business model basically. And again, we're not in this for a loss. It's about bringing betterment for the citizens as a whole, and respectively in a spin-off, PP as well, because the initiative in itself is also going to assist PP in helping itself of sorts, if you understand my point. So it's empowerment across the board. So again, Trinidad, call, ask your questions.
Or if you really are, you know, phone shy, live shy, you can text us to the same number 3428737, or you can ask your questions on the thread, because we're monitoring it as well, right? And and we see a lot of them inviting people to share the live. We have people saying that, you know, they studied hydroponics. We see a lot of people saying they're gonna be into microgreens. So I'm liking the enthusiasm. So exactly what we felt when we decided to start up thinking pet farms. I'm glad that I'm seeing it.
Yeah, and those of you on the thread, again, come down 19 Stanmore Avenue, 12 noon on Saturday. Let's have a discussion. Let's sit down and talk. Ask these questions in person. Let's go down into detail where these questions are concerned, and if we're able to address those questions for you, where you can have greater clarity as to how this mechanism actually works.
Right, and also to you had mentioned, as with respect, we were talking about security. Remember that we do have a job pre-registration listing as well.
That's right. That is right, Trinidad and Tobago. So those of you who are looking for work, basically, we do have a database that we are compiling
Right. I mean, we're asking those who are on the database, and we'll also be reaching out to those, to let you know, is like, well, this would be the job opportunities that would be coming along
That's
with
right.
Pep Farm. So if it is that you are interested, this is something that we could work with you, depending on where you're situated and where the land is situated.
Right.
Right. And just think about what about question. What about technical support? Can we be taught how to farm?
Yes, you can. And it definitely would be a side body that we would definitely be inserting within that whole mechanism, because at the end of the day, there would be new technologies that's coming out as the years go by, because there's a lot of things that farmers are doing presently that is what we would call draconian, as per se.
Right, and remember too that this is proof of concept for the Progressive
That's
Empowerment
right.
Party, and
That's right.
agriculture plays a huge role with respect to our education policy
Yes.
and respect to the social policy that we have. So simple things like learning how to compost, learning how to grow food for yourself, that will be part of it as well.
Yes.
So this is just a way to just reach us on a national level, to actually, when we say we're talking hope and opportunity, we thought food is the best way to go, especially considering our situation. And it's just, we saying win-win-win, but I mean it's win-win-win to the infinite power, because really and truly Pep Farm's really looking like a vision with no end.
It has no end. It's limitless, and I mean, this in itself is what's going to take the country forward into the 21st century as a first world nation. Because once we're able to have food security and we can feed our nation, then there's nothing, no variable outside of the shores of Trinidad and Tobago that can make much of a dent in shaking the nation at that level. Because again, if a world war breaks out, you have shipping that stops, air traffic control that stops. If we're bringing in 70% of our consumable goods, what's our position at that point? We're not able to bring stuff in. Are we going to have our population sit down and wait for 6-8 months for crop so we can feed our nation? No, we need to be proactive about this. And it's why, again, PEP has taken this initiative to ensure that we can have a test model now, so by the time we do get into office, we can do this on a national level. So again, Trinidad and Tobago, do not feel shy. You please call in. We're not hearing you. 342-8737.
Call or text.
Yeah, that's right. You can text as well on the Facebook page.
Even if, I mean, we'll be nice on the phone too.
On the phone, yeah. Okay.
We'll be accommodating. Yeah. Right. But what I want to springboard into is that, similar to how Pep Farm, we're talking about opportunities for the farmer, we're talking about the Progressive Empowerment Party will be showing how we can provide technical and administrative and security support to our citizens out there, and we'll be helping each other and building a family. Okay, we have another call. Good night. You are on Frontline with Anthony and Sarah.
Hi, I'm Sarah and Anthony.
Hi.
You can see how you going.
How you going, man? How's everything?
I did everything cool. You have me excited here now, man. I love my agriculture.
That's the idea, brother. That is the idea.
So my input, a few people say it already, but the little experience I have in Santa Cruz, and I also planted in Basso Caparo.
Right.
And the main problem was water and security.
Water and
So security.
Security.
Right.
Yeah. So those are the two things for sure that we had to focus plenty on.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
And Philip just mentioned the body system with respect to farmers helping farmers. That's gonna work. That's gonna be real.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, with respect to irrigation, that's what we're asking, that interested people come as quickly as possible and pre-register with us this Saturday, so that when we do land allocation, the farmer that's interested will be able to go on the site visit, right? And we can troubleshoot and plan. And you understand where I'm coming from? All right?
Yeah. I just had to call in and give and say something, because I mean, I've been waiting on this. I'm not sure what kind of input, if I'll be able to get involved, because I work with what I'm doing now. But
right.
But I will be somehow doing some kind of part. So idea. for sure.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, I mean,
thanks a whole lot, bro. And spread the word. Tell people that you know who may be in the same field within farming and whatnot. People who own lands. You see derelict lands in your area, and you may know the landlord. Step to them, ask them, and let them know that this is an initiative that's actually getting off the ground right now. And if they're interested, give them the information as far as coming down to Stanmore on Saturday noontime, or give them a number to contact one of the executives, and let's make this happen, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yes. Thank you very much for calling in.
All right.
All right, brother.
We'll continue the good work.
Thanks a lot, man.
Bye. Yeah. I like taking calls like that.
Definitely. And again, that's it's a valid concern, of course, because there are lots of farmers in areas that has a major problem getting water. I mean, how much are we going to talk about water, boy? We on an island, Trinidad and Tobago. How we can't get water to every constituency. Fallacy farms. What do we have here? Message?
If I come up in this Saturday, can I sign up immediately for pet farms, or is there a strict interview and assessment process? How soon will this initiative come on board? Right? Second question, how is the crops and other produce of this initiative going to be sold and distributed?
All right.
Compound question, so we'll take it piece by piece.
Yes. First question. Right. If you do come this, we are going to screen you, yes, on the spot, but you will be able to sign up right away as well. And again, we just got allocated several acres of land, and we are planning to roll this out very, very soon. We're hoping within maybe the next few weeks.
It really depends on your response.
Correct.
It really depends on how much we have on board. So that's what we're saying. If this is a hot ticket for you, come down. Come down, and let's make this happen. Because again, the more the merrier, and that's the whole idea. Because we don't want to have land sitting down being direct. Oh, hi, Misty.
Hi, Misty.
Right, she's on the pet farm team.
Yes.
So, go ahead, Misty.
I want to respond to those questions that
Sure.
were just asked about distribution, about security, about water. The infrastructure, the overall infrastructure as regards security and as regards water will be done by the PEP group in conjunction with the people that we're working with. So that we may be looking at perhaps a retention fund in the middle of each acreage, so that all the farmers can have access to the water.
Right.
There'll be things like if people wanted to do hydroponics, they would need, as well as the water, they would need electricity, stuff like that. So we will take care of those overriding concerns. The security, we are still looking at which is the best way to deal with that. We have not yet honed in on quite how we will do it, because we know that radial larceny is one of the biggest problems that all farmers face.
Yeah.
So we will be in consultation with the farmers themselves, as well as other people, to come up, to find a best fit for what we plan to do. As for if we want to do a cooperative, which is going to take the produce and help with the distribution to the various parts of Trinidad. Because remember, what we're trying to do is see how best we can do food self-sufficiency. So this is, and when we reach to that point, we will also be able to bring down the cost of food to our citizens. So we will be working with figures on what consumption levels are. Not in this particular, this is just a pilot project, so this we wouldn't work on we will just look at different items and see what consumption patterns are, so that we know how we go forward with it.
Well said, Misty.
Right, and you could see the level of thought that has been gone into the process. But Misty, another question. So as we have you on, they're saying, and it ties into what you said before, but who exactly would be responsible for setting up a hydroponic system on the farmlands if they want to experiment with it?
So we are saying that the farmers themselves will also have a responsibility to the aspect of farming that they want to do. So it will be more than likely a shared cost, or it may be at the cost of the farmer if he wants to put in that system. We've not yet finalized all those little things.
Right, that's true. As a PP initiative for the hydroponic type systems, we have not rolled out an initiative directly for that yet. That's within the whole farming concept.
Correct. But the thing about the hydroponic system is that it takes the land further, because you can do more in a smaller area with hydroponics, because it can go upwards instead of outwards. You know? So it is something that we are looking at, but we will have to work out the details on how we do it exactly.
Okay.
Right. So the initial launch is specifically geared towards regular lands, soil-based initiative.
Correct.
All right. Beautiful.
But we want to explore all the different options, because step because government, it is something that we want the country to be involved in.
Right. Well,
so we will trial all the different aspects of it that we can.
Right. Well, that's the whole idea, is again helping to empower the nation, and through food is one of the key ways we are able to do that. Bringing down the price of food in order for people to live, the cost. I mean, it's a several-fold effect.
Okay.
So,
there is also another important aspect to growing our own food. We will, because our produce will be organic, it will also contribute to a healthier nation, bringing down our overall health bill.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So we conclude by saying, I mean, the Progressive Empowerment Party is about giving people hope and opportunity, and nothing epitomizes, that vision like pet farms right now.
That's right.
Thank you very much, Misty.
Thanks,
And walk with your bottle of water, because they're gonna be talking plenty this Saturday, at 19 Stanmore Avenue, because people are gonna come with their questions. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye.
All right.
So you can even shoot Misty some questions if you want. If you can't wait because you're too excited, come for Saturday. So you can always question us. Send messages to the Progressive Empowerment Party Facebook page, or you can check out Misty Autumn Day, Anthony the Fool, myself, Sarah Nabi, because I see people asking for names, etc. We have another caller. We know this number. That number looking familiar. Hi, good night.
Good night, Tony. Good night, Sarah.
Good night.
Good night, Philip.
You all are doing an amazing job. I have to call in after Andre, because that was a perfect call to give so much information. You all are really doing an amazing job, and I really need to call in and say that. And I wanted to shout out to Akil, who called in. He's not sure if he's farming, but I want to tell him, and I know he's listening, to get his farming boots out and ready. Because if I farming, he's farming too.
That's real. Don't worry, I'll be right there with you all.
They're gonna raise the prices of them boots now, watch it.
Yeah, I understand. But great job though. I mean, food independence is so critical. The fact that no government is having this conversation shows the lack of understanding as to the importance of the word independence. You can't be independent if other people controlling your food.
Correct.
And that is a critical piece of information. The cost of living in Trinidad and Tobago is already way too high. We could grow food in this country for a third and less the price.